Going to the movie theater is something that has always been a great way to spend a couple of hours out on the town, right? It's been that way for generations.
And not far from Erie is a place where you can learn about those early days of the movie theater and how some giants of the entertainment industry got their start. John Last takes us there in this edition of The Last Word.
We have a producer at Erie News Now named Bree. She is originally from Newcastle, Pennsylvania. One day she said to me, "If you want an interesting subject for a last word segment, go to Newcastle." Well, here I am. This is what Bree wanted me to see. It's the historic Warner Cascade Theater. I'm standing at the spot where the famous Warner Brothers opened their very first movie theater. The space is now a museum that documents the path the Warner Brothers took from owning a small theater in Newcastle to being silver screen moguls in Hollywood.
This wall we refer to as the Warner Wall.
Board President Jerry Kern is giving me a tour.
So Benjamin came to this country first.
Jerry tells me that the Warner family were Russian immigrants who ended up living in a poor section of Youngstown, Ohio called Smoky Hollow. One day in 1906, the family bought a portable movie projector that their landlady wanted to sell.
They took this portable movie projector and they went to wherever there were people. They traveled all around western Pennsylvania and eastern Ohio. They attended all the fairs and festivals.
Of course, there are no fairs or festivals in the winter, so the Warners decided to open a movie theater on Mill Street in the growing town of Newcastle.
And on February 2nd, 1907, they opened up their very first theater, and they call it the Cascade Theater.
The theater was very popular. The next month, the family opened a second theater, the Bijou, and purchased a commercial movie projector. What they did not buy were seats. They borrowed chairs from a nearby funeral parlor. Among the mementos at the museum is one of those chairs. It just might have been carried by one of the now iconic Warner brothers, Harry, Albert, Sam, and Jack.
But they remembered the story about their chairs.
The Warners soon had competition. Another movie theater opened in a space between the Cascade and the Bijou. The Warners despised that theater. It was named the Acme. Jerry believes the Warner Brothers years later had a meeting. They had to choose a name for the place Looney Tunes character Wile E. Coyote would buy all his defective products to destroy the Roadrunner.
I could just see Jack putting his hand up and say, "Hey, remember back in Newcastle? Remember back in Newcastle, guys?"
The Warners operated the Cascade Theater for only a short time. They started a movie distribution business in Pittsburgh and eventually ended up making movies of their own. With the last word in Newcastle, John Last, Erie News Now.
And that museum opened as a nonprofit organization in 2022 with the blessing of Cass Warner, who is the granddaughter of Harry Warner.
Incredible. And it will soon expand. The museum has obtained the largest collection of Looney Tune items anywhere, so it's large, and that additional space is much needed to display everything they have.